At 53, Matt Damon drops shocking news about Ben Affleck. After much public fascination and nonstop rumors, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have declared their marriage over exactly 2 years after a wedding that seemed like a perfect fairy tale. Their revived love had once again thrust them into the limelight, where they showcased their happiness for all to see, cruising in a Bentley and basking in the camera flashes. But could their display of happiness hide deeper troubles? Before we go on, get ready. There's more to Ben Affleck's story than you think, and some surprises might shock you. Bennifer 2.0. The couple, who found their way back to each other in 2021, captured everyone's imagination with what seemed like a storybook return to love. But now, this dream has crumbled. What many saw as a beautiful reconciliation has dramatically changed course. Ben Affleck, known for his colorful and often complicated love life, is once again at the center of a dramatic turn of events. His past, filled with high-profile romances and constant media attention, seems to have come back, affecting the current state of his life with Lopez. What happens next with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez is so surprising and dark, it could change everything we thought we knew about them. To understand why this sudden change happened, it helps to look at Affleck's history. His relationships over the years have often shown patterns that are hard to miss. His early days in Hollywood set the stage for what was to come. Back in 1997, after the success of the film Good Will Hunting, Affleck, along with his friend Matt Damon, shot to fame. Their success not only earned them an Oscar, but also brought them into the exclusive circles of Hollywood's elite. At one of these exclusive gatherings, hosted by Harvey Weinstein, Affleck met Gwyneth Paltrow. She had just ended her relationship with Brad Pitt and was open about her regrets, saying that her own immaturity had played a big role in their breakup. This honesty about her past was in sharp contrast to the relationship that would later develop between her and Affleck. At first, things seemed promising between them. After being cast together in the movie Shakespeare in Love, their romance went public. However, their relationship was marked by many ups and downs. Over the next few years, their on and off status became regular news, with brief reunions, such as during the filming of Bounce. By the year 2000, their relationship was over. Paltrow spoke openly about how tough the breakup was for her. Unlike her reflective comments about her time with Pitt, she was less forgiving when speaking about Affleck. On Howard Stern's show, she mentioned that while Affleck could make her laugh, their time together was filled with constant conflicts and challenges. She suggested that Affleck wasn't ready for a serious relationship, a recurring theme in his romantic life. But this wasn't the only sign of trouble. Paltrow hinted at deeper issues, suggesting that sometimes people try to work through childhood conflicts in their adult relationships. She implied that her time with Affleck was an example of this pattern. Affleck responded defensively in an interview on Good Morning America, suggesting that Paltrow's ideal partner would be someone like her father. This comment hinted at underlying tensions, especially considering that her parents were not very fond of him. Gwyneth Paltrow did not take Ben Affleck's comment quietly. She quickly fired back, saying his ideal woman would be a bikini-clad waitress serving cold beers. This sharp exchange showed the tension in their relationship and hinted at Affleck's tendency to be distracted by other interests. As time went on, more signs pointed to this. Ben Affleck seemed to have a way of causing trouble in his relationships. But these concerns weren't just limited to Gwyneth Paltrow and her friends. In 2016, Paltrow shared a story about hosting an event with celebrity chef Mario Batali while she was dating Affleck. Batali, who had been very fond of Brad Pitt, did not feel the same way about Affleck. This lack of warmth showed a clear disapproval and hinted that many people around Paltrow were doubtful about Affleck as a good partner. This skepticism painted a picture of a pattern in Affleck's love life, unstable and often insincere. Jennifer Garner, another of Affleck's exes, supported this view. She once described him as a complicated person, saying he could be very warm and attentive when he was focused on you, but could also turn very cold and distant when his attention shifted. This description seemed to match what many other women who had been with Affleck experienced, showing a man who could bring both light and shadow into his relationships. The story of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, often called Bennifer, followed a similar path. They first met on the set of the movie Geely, when Lopez was still married to Chris Judd. In a 2003 interview, Affleck shared that their relationship started as a close friendship while they were working together, with no romance at first because Lopez was still married. But this friendship soon became something more. After Lopez filed for divorce from Judd in July 2002, her relationship with Affleck quickly grew stronger. That summer, the sparks between Lopez and Affleck were clear during a birthday event for her, and they officially began dating. By November 2002, when Lopez released her famous song Jenny from the Block, news of their engagement spread quickly. The music video for the song, featuring Affleck, became very popular, especially for the scene on a yacht where Affleck was seen kissing Lopez's backside, a moment that became a big part of pop culture. But this wasn't the only time things went wrong. Their engagement was marked by a 6-carat pink diamond ring from Harry Winston, as reported by People magazine, but their happiness did not last long. The movie Geely failed at the box office, and this seemed to mirror problems in their relationship. Just days before their planned wedding in September 2003, they postponed it, blaming the intense media attention. Things had gotten so bad that they even thought about using decoys at different locations to confuse the paparazzi. But this wasn't the worst part. By January 2004, their relationship had ended, with the constant media attention being a major factor. This issue of public scrutiny would come back again when they got back together nearly 20 years later. Even after they announced their re-engagement, it became clear that the media was still very much in their lives, leading to a point where Lopez had to ask for privacy during a difficult time. From 2004 to 2021, Lopez and Affleck went their separate ways. Lopez married singer Marc Anthony, whom she had dated before. They had twins in 2008, but this marriage also ended in 2011, with the divorce finalized in 2014. Meanwhile, Affleck continued his pattern of relationships, often with co-stars. This showed a recurring theme in his life where work and romance often mixed, leading to intense love stories that usually ended publicly and painfully. Next, let's see how Affleck's troubled past influenced his next big relationship. From co-stars to co-parents. When Ben Affleck began dating Jennifer Garner, their story grew from being co-stars to becoming spouses and later co-parents. They first met while filming Pearl Harbor in the year 2000. At that time, Garner played a nurse, and Affleck was a heroic pilot. Garner was still married at the time to Scott Foley, but the chemistry between her and Affleck was undeniable. Though they kept their connection quiet at first, the spark between them soon became visible, and their relationship began to blossom. They were quickly one of Hollywood's most talked about couples. Their relationship seemed solid, and in 2005, Affleck and Garner married in a private ceremony in the Turks and Caicos Islands, far away from the prying eyes of the press. The couple welcomed their first child, a daughter named Violet, in December 2005 and their second daughter, Serafina, in 2009. By 2012, they had their third child, a son named Samuel. They looked like a happy family, out of the spotlight, raising their children together. However, just a few years later, in 2015, rumors of their separation began circulating, eventually leading to their public divorce announcement in 2017. Despite their split, the two remained friendly and focused on co-parenting their children. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's marriage was filled with moments of bliss, but also marked by Affleck's struggles with alcohol and his tendency to prioritize his career over family life at times. In many ways, their marriage followed a pattern seen in many of Affleck's other relationships: intense passion mixed with significant challenges. Though their story ended in separation, they continued to share a deep respect for one another, and their mutual commitment to their children has remained a priority. Still, the shadow of Affleck's troubled past looms large, as he navigates his relationships in the public eye, with each new chapter in his love life bringing new revelations about the complexities of his character and his emotional journey. Jennifer Garner's love story with Ben Affleck began in a way that seemed almost scripted. Initially, she was married to Scott Foley, her co-star from the TV show Felicity. Their paths crossed again in 2003 when they both found themselves on the set of Daredevil. This encounter was the beginning of their deepening friendship. Even though both were already involved with other people, Garner was still married to Foley, and Affleck was dating Jennifer Lopez. Over time, their connection grew, evolving from friendship into something more. Despite their respective relationships, their bond continued to strengthen, and they found themselves in a deeper relationship. Eventually, this blossomed into a marriage. However, after spending 10 years together, they made the difficult decision to separate. In the early days of their relationship, Garner was very vocal about how much she admired Affleck. She once described him as her ideal man, tall, dark, and handsome. Their engagement was quiet, occurring on Garner's 33rd birthday. At the time, they both made the conscious decision to keep their relationship out of the public eye, hoping to maintain a semblance of normalcy despite their fame. They had a few public appearances, such as attending Red Sox games, but for the most part, they kept their personal lives private. Their decision to marry was swift after their engagement, and soon after, they welcomed their first child together, a daughter named Violet. This life-changing moment was kept mostly private, with only a brief statement confirming the birth and assuring the public that both mother and child were doing well. Interestingly, during a TV interview, Garner accidentally revealed that they were expecting a girl, which was later embraced by the couple with joy. The arrival of Violet seemed to bring them even closer, and friends of the couple often remarked on how their love seemed to grow stronger after the birth of their children. Despite their seemingly perfect life, challenges loomed. After 10 years of marriage, Garner and Affleck announced their decision to separate, much to the surprise of the public. They made it clear that they intended to handle the split with grace, focusing on co-parenting their children while keeping the matter as private as possible. This sudden announcement was the only statement they made regarding the end of their relationship, sparking curiosity and leaving many wondering about the reasons behind their decision. Post-separation, the couple managed to maintain a strong co-parenting relationship, which was a testament to their mutual respect. They even took a family vacation to the Bahamas shortly after their separation, during which photos surfaced of them spending time with their children, both together and apart. Garner later reflected in an interview that they both remained supportive of each other. She shared how they held on to their shared history, a history only they truly understood, and that this bond made it inevitable that they would continue to be in each other's lives in some form. However, this was not the end of their struggles. Following their divorce, Affleck faced public scrutiny for his personal battles. He went into rehab and later publicly thanked Garner for her unwavering support during his journey to recovery. Affleck revealed the depths of his alcoholism in a heartfelt post and expressed his gratitude to Garner for being there for him through such a difficult time. He made it clear that his recovery depended on the support of his loved ones, with a particular emphasis on Garner's importance in his healing process. The divorce was officially filed in 2017, and both Garner and Affleck sought joint custody of their children. This filing put an end to years of speculation about whether the couple might reconcile. Even during their separation, they continued to share a household at times, went on family vacations together, and remained actively involved in their children's lives. These actions blurred the lines of their separation, and it wasn't until the legal paperwork was finalized that their split became official. Despite the finalization of their divorce, the challenges were far from over. In 2018, Affleck relapsed, and once again, he turned to Garner for help. She took him to a treatment center, showing that, despite their separation, they still had a deep level of understanding and support for one another. During this time, Garner also had the difficult task of explaining to their children what was happening, ensuring they understood Affleck's struggles in an age-appropriate way. Her role was not limited to offering emotional support, but also extended to creating a stable environment for their children, all while managing the public side of Affleck's recovery. This was no easy feat, but Garner's determination to keep their family steady and support Affleck's recovery played a pivotal role in maintaining some semblance of normalcy for their children. By October 2018, their divorce was finalized 3 years after their initial separation. This marked the end of a tumultuous chapter in their lives, but one that was still filled with respect for each other and a shared commitment to their children's well-being. As they both moved forward, the journey was far from over. Ben Affleck's comments about his marriage during an interview on The Howard Stern Show stirred controversy and garnered backlash. He openly discussed how his struggles with alcohol were intertwined with the breakdown of his marriage. Affleck admitted that, if he were still married to Garner, he might still be drinking because he felt trapped in the marriage. This candid admission was met with strong criticism, as many felt that he was placing blame for his drinking problem on his relationship. He also went on to discuss how their marriage, despite the love and respect they had for each other, was falling apart, and how they tried to stay together primarily for the sake of their children. However, he later acknowledged that staying married wasn't the best example for their kids. This blunt and unfiltered explanation shocked many, and some questioned whether Affleck was showing enough empathy in discussing the breakdown of their marriage. In the wake of their divorce, Affleck quickly entered another relationship with Ana de Armas, his co-star from the movie Deepwater. The film, which was about a troubled marriage, seemed almost like a reflection of their own relationship. Their romance progressed quickly, with frequent public appearances and intimate moments shared on social media. They even celebrated de Armas's birthday together, and not long after, she moved in with Affleck. However, this relationship was short-lived, as it ended just a month after de Armas had moved in. Reports suggested that the pressure of living together too soon contributed to their breakup. This seemed to follow a familiar pattern for Affleck: intense, whirlwind relationships that ultimately ended abruptly. The breakup, though, was far from clean. Shortly after, photos surfaced showing Affleck's children playing with a life-size cutout of de Armas, which was later seen discarded in public. Many saw this as a messy and insensitive way of handling the situation, especially considering that his children were involved. This incident further fueled the perception that Affleck struggled with commitment and had difficulty navigating the complexities of relationships. This quick cycle of intense relationships and sudden breakups was not a new pattern for Affleck. His brother, Casey Affleck, weighed in on the situation, saying that both Ben and Ana would likely move on from the breakup without much trouble. He also noted how the stress of the pandemic had added pressure on relationships, but hinted that Ben and Ana might reconsider their decision to part ways. Shortly after the breakup with de Armas, Affleck found himself rekindling his romance with Jennifer Lopez. Their revived relationship, affectionately known as Bennifer 2.0, caught many by surprise. Affleck appeared determined to win Lopez back, sending her reassuring emails about his sincerity in making things work this time. Their relationship was once again in the public eye, with the couple going on romantic trips and Lopez openly expressing her happiness in interviews. Affleck proposed to Lopez in a very intimate manner while she was in her favorite spot, the bathtub. The engagement ring, featuring a rare green diamond, symbolized both luck and positivity, reflecting their shared history and some of Lopez's famous fashion moments. Their marriage came as a surprise to many when they wed in a private ceremony in Las Vegas, marking another unexpected chapter in Affleck's complicated love life. Following their marriage, the couple celebrated with a big celebration in Georgia, but just like before, the media attention surrounding their romance quickly returned. Ben Affleck found himself struggling with the intense public focus once again. Despite his best efforts to keep their relationship private, he paradoxically encouraged Jennifer Lopez to revisit old songs that spoke about their past together, which seemed to contradict his wish for privacy. He also participated in public events and promotions that included their relationship, sending mixed signals about how much he truly wanted to keep things private. This inconsistency added immense pressure to their relationship, especially as Lopez worked on a documentary that featured their personal messages. The public sharing of their private moments became too much for him, intensifying the tension between them. The difficulty in balancing their public and private lives highlighted the ongoing challenges they faced as a couple. Ben Affleck's unpredictable behavior contributed significantly to the problems in his relationship with Jennifer Garner. While at times he tried hard to please her, he also struggled with the public attention their relationship attracted. His mixed signals left Garner in a difficult position, trying to manage her own career while dealing with a partner who was becoming more distant. Even though Affleck expressed a desire for privacy, he agreed to participate in a documentary and album that only brought more media attention. Perhaps he wanted to support Garner and make her happy, but it was clear he was uncomfortable with all the focus on their personal lives. In the documentary, Affleck compared his struggle with the public side of their relationship to marrying a boat captain and then complaining about the sea. This analogy reflected just how much he battled with the public side of their relationship, a conflict that ultimately became too much for him to handle. His inner turmoil led to growing resentment toward Garner, who was doing her best to keep their marriage steady. Garner even got matching tattoos with him as a symbol of their bond on their first Valentine's Day as a married couple. But this gesture could not save their relationship. Their marriage began to crumble, as they could not find a balance between staying private and living in the public eye. Despite Garner's hope and commitment, the pressure from their differences became overwhelming. The love that once brought them together ultimately became their greatest obstacle, leading to the end of Bennifer 2.0. Although they officially separated in April 2024, they continued to act like a couple for several months afterward. In the weeks leading up to their quiet breakup, they were seen showing affection during outings in March and even searching for houses together in New York City. After celebrating Easter together in Brooklyn, Affleck returned to California to film The Accountant 2, while Lopez spent most of her time in New York. During this period, the cracks in their marriage began to show, with the couple not photographed together for over a month. Just days before their breakup became public, Lopez met with Affleck's close friend and business partner, Matt Damon, and his wife. As things worsened, Affleck missed several key events for Lopez in May, including the premiere of her Netflix movie Atlas and the Met Gala, where she was a co-chair. A friend of Affleck explained that he does not enjoy the Met Gala and finds it uncomfortable, suggesting that attending in a bad mood could draw negative attention, as seen with his grumpy appearance at the 2023 Grammys. Interestingly, Affleck did attend the Met Gala in 2021, but had not returned since. One might have expected him to support his wife at such a significant event, but his absence was particularly disappointing considering the tough year she had been enduring. She faced the failure of her first studio album in 10 years, 2 movies about her life, and had to cancel several shows on her tour due to low interest. She even had to adjust her tour to focus on her greatest hits. Despite needing his support, Lopez attended the Met Gala alone, a blow that seemed particularly hard for her given that she had always stood by Affleck, even helping him reintegrate into family life after their first breakup. When they got married again in July 2022, they made it a priority to focus on their blended family. Lopez put considerable effort into becoming part of Affleck's family, even attending events with his children, which garnered public attention. Affleck shares 3 children with his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, while Lopez is twins with her ex-husband, Mark Anthony. After getting back together, the couple was often seen with their children, showing their commitment to keeping a united family front. However, this was not the end of their issues. After their split, Affleck found comfort in spending time with his family, leaving Lopez out. He was seen enjoying time with his children and ex-wife in Connecticut, just before his daughter Violet was set to start college. Despite no longer being together, Affleck and Garner managed to co-parent peacefully, which is rare among celebrities. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to join the conversation and share your thoughts.